I am not sick. That's what my Nanaji said 4 days before he died. As he was lying in his bed, the skin and bones. I'm not sick. He said it very clearly. And that is the bottom line to his life. He had control over his body and his mind until the last second. He voluntarily chose when to end his life, but yet his body was suffering. Anybody who was there could see it. And he said, I am not sick. His mind was so much in control that 2 days before he left, he gathered everybody. He said, where's Hirsch? Where's Erna? Where's Jagdish? Where's everybody? Everybody in his bed, his bedroom, not the hospital, no medications. And he said, in Hindi, Prabhuji is the only guru, Prabhuji is God. That laser focus in those moments. Just imagine when you're stuck with the flu and what are you thinking of? And here he is dying, and that focus. Living in America, I could probably count the number of hours I've spent with my grandfather very easily. My nephew might be able to count it too. But the teachings he taught me in the life, through my family and what I observed, are immense. And I just want to share a few of those because that's the best way I can share what it means to have him as my grandfather. And the first starts from this little story I just told you. He taught me that we can't always control what we're going to encounter in life. We can't control the obstacles. But what we can control is how we react to it, how we handle it, and what we learn from it. I've been through a number of things in my life, all of you have. But if we practice and train our bodies and mind before we encounter troubles, before we're sick, we'll be much more stable and able to handle it and focus on serving others, living for others, which is really his message. That's why he was so passionate about yoga. That's why he taught me when I was 4 or 5 years old when he came and visited us in Carroll Stream how to do Nathi. That's why he would take us to the library and have us do yoga demonstrations to teach people, everybody, regardless of who you are, where you came from, what you speak, what you know, what you don't know, take care of your body and take care of your mind. And that lesson, to learn that at such an early age, there's really no value behind that. The second thing he taught me, that as I'm growing to be an adult myself, is coming in handy even more and more, is that you really have to look at the purpose of everything in your life. From the rituals, to your work, to your family, to your obligations, and strip away all that doesn't matter. Hinduism is so complex. It's a blessing, there's a lot of teachings, but it can also push a lot of people away and make it so that people don't understand it. And his teaching of yoga was always to simplify and make sure people get the lesson so they can actually live it. This ashram here doesn't look like the ashram in Husharpur. Mom doesn't look like Nanaji. She's got some lipstick on. I don't think I ever saw Nanaji with lipstick on. And I don't speak Hindi. Something I hope to learn. But even if I don't, Nanaji has really taught me that what matters is what's in your heart. What matters is how you act. What matters is how you feel. What matters is how you treat people. What matters is if you feel peaceful inside or if you don't. And you can do arti 1,000 times a day, and if you don't feel peaceful, you better find something else to do. And he taught me that very well. I grew up in the ashram, but he always told my mom, he told us, if the kids aren't getting something out of it, if they don't want to be there, it's okay. Go study. Go do whatever. This is coming from a godly man, and he really said that. I had one of the most pivotal points in my life was in 1999 when I went to the ashram. The first time as, a grown person, not a child, with my mom and dad and brother. And I remember this one time we sat in this little office and we got to ask him questions. And he's just so wise. He said, if any of you have met my brother, you'll know that he's an intellectual and a professor, and he can go on in his mind. It's very difficult to understand him. So he asked a lot of tough questions. And at one point, Nanaji said to him, and again, put it in context, someone who's living this life, he's running this ashram, he's God. And he said, I don't care. Take out a piece of paper, grab a crayon, and scribble whatever that you want to scribble down. If that feels good to you, if that feels like God, then that's God. The image doesn't matter. His message was so profound yet so simple. And just a personal thing too, I'll just share, because it really was one of the, I've always felt very close to him, but I've grown up in a different time. 95 years old, we're separated by, don't make me do the math here, but 70 years. It's very different. But for those of you know, and many of you were there, I got married to my wife, Rebecca, who's standing right back there. She's a woman, and she's white. And when my mom went to India and told Anaju you wanted his blessings, without even a blink of an eye, where are the laddus? Let's celebrate. What's the problem? It's two souls who care about each other, who love each other, who serve the ashram, who like yoga, who have similar values, who are good people. He'd met Rebecca many years before. Who cares? Different culture, different country, different time, different language, yet his understanding of what really matters goes beyond that. And so I don't have much else to say except that we all have flaws, we're all human beings, and even Nanaji, as godly as he was, I'm sure that he had flaws. I couldn't see them. I'm sure none of you could see them, but I'm sure he had them. And if we let our flaws and the things that we see as weaknesses in ourselves stop us from serving, stop us from teaching, stop us from doing, then nothing would get done in this world. You wouldn't be here today. This building wouldn't be here. This land wouldn't be here. This country wouldn't be here. Nothing would happen. And so, in the name of him and all that he has done and the hundreds of thousands of people he has touched and impacted and healed, please act. Even if it's volunteering at your soup kitchen or taking care of your kids or whatever, please act and do good and do it with that simplicity. It doesn't need to be fancy and it doesn't need to be profound, but do good and live for others. That was his sticker on the refrigerator in his bedroom. I took a picture of it. It's beautiful. There is nobody in this world who I will ever meet who lived that saying better than him.